From United Nations Television, this is UN in Action.
There's a busy border crossing from Guatemala into Mexico, but many migrants, desperate to get in, take a more clandestine route, across this river. Before heading north, some will rest at the Belen Shelter for Migrants, run by Padre Flor Maria. He's surprised by how many migrants are arriving here from distant continents.
We have welcomed people from as far as Bangladesh, Nepal, Pakistan, Nigeria, Jordania, and then all the Horn of Africa, many.
Hundreds of thousands of Latin American migrants enter Mexico each year. Increasingly, they're joined by Africans and Asians, fleeing poverty and life-threatening dangers in their homelands.
They feel not just abandoned, expelled, ignored by a country, a homeland. They come here like orphans.
João Ramirez was a soldier in his native Equatorial Guinea, a small nation on the west coast of Africa. His nightmare began after he joined an opposition political party that his father belonged to.
My father never accepted the abuse and violations of human rights that took place in Equatorial Guinea, and this was the reason they assassinated my family.
João lost his mother, father, and brothers. He says he was imprisoned and brutally tortured.
I still have scars on my back from electrical burns, just like I have this one, which they did with a wire.
João says he was cast into exile and made his way to Colombia, South America. Like many other Africans, he headed north through Central America, trudging through miles of jungle, sleeping in cemeteries. He crossed into Mexico by raft, then presented himself to Mexican authorities and asked for asylum. But many Africans and Asians don't come to stay. They're en route to the US. The families of these two young Eritreans paid smugglers to bring them halfway around the world.
Maybe $20,000.
That's what it cost you so far?
Yes, from Sudan, from my country until here.
It's unfortunate that people live in such desperate conditions that they actually try to do it.
Hans Hartmark, head of the UN Refugee Agency's office in southern Mexico, says Africans pay a high price to get to the US.
They would finance it normally through paying in advance a lot of money, which they in some cases have to borrow, and they would indebt themselves and their family that stays behind.
Mexico has been good to João Ramirez. He teaches English at this high school. The Mexican authorities were convinced that he has a well-founded fear of persecution and granted him asylum. Best of all, after 3 years apart, he's reunited with his wife and daughters, but he misses his homeland. This report was produced by Susan Farkas for the United Nations.